name is Kayleen. My channel is about promoting my graphic memoir that will be out pretty soon. Today is July 17th, 2022. I'm about ready to come out with my graphic memoir. It's called Mom Remembers Me, How I Used My Health and Fitness Knowledge to Stop My Mother with Mild Dementia from Forgetting Me. But today's video I want to go over, I've been in the fitness industry for about 35 years and I wanted to go over the top 10 biggest fitness mistakes that I have watched over my decades in the field. So the number one I'd like to start off with is the difference between endurance and strength. And I also wanted to remind you that my videos are going to be easy to listen to, easy to watch, easy to concentrate. I'm not going to have all these other images coming in and going out. The brain books do not suggest that that's really good for your concentration. So I wanted to make it easy for you to listen to me. Get yourself out a piece of paper, write it out, create your own kind of a mind map. I actually have a mind map right behind me here of a book that I did. I like to create mind maps. You can look up Tony Buzan's mind mapping book. And because our brain is not really remembering linearly in words, you remember pictures, and especially if you draw it, you're going to be better at remembering it. So like I mentioned, the very first biggest mistake that I've ever seen is between endurance and strength. So we have 6 components of fitness: muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiovascular strength, and cardiovascular endurance. So strength and endurance for both cardiovascular and for muscular, and the other two are flexibility and body fat, body composition. So people always seem to get confused with those two. So when it comes to strength training, you know, if you get on to do any kind of strength training, from push-ups to sitting on a leg extension, which leg extensions are bad for your knees. Leg curls are also bad for your low back. It'd be better just to do squats on the Smith machine or on a leg press. But make sure that you can reach failure within 90 seconds or between 8 and 12 repetitions. So if you can get on there and do 20 or 30 repetitions for any strength training equipment, you're doing endurance. You don't have to really worry about the endurance for muscular, because you're already getting the muscular endurance from doing any kind of activity. So runners have the lower body muscular endurance in their legs. Swimmers have the upper body endurance from doing the actual activity. So when you're doing strength training equipment, you should make sure you reach failure. The second biggest mistake I see, mostly from women, are they hold these little dumbbells and they do it during some kind of cardio class, or when they're out for a walk. Number one, that's really bad for your shoulders. They've had studies showing that you increase your caloric expenditure by a very, very minute amount, but the increased risk for your shoulder injuries is huge. So that's the second one. The other thing is those dumbbells, if you can do 20 or 30 repetitions, it's kind of dumb too. It won't hurt you, but it's a waste. So if you are in any kind of group exercise class and you do bicep curls for 30 whatever repetitions, it's a complete waste of your time. You should kind of separate the two. So I always, a lot of times I'll have been teasing women, because your pocketbook probably weighs more than those 2 or 3 pound dumbbells, right? So that was 3 of my top 3 so far. So first one was the difference between endurance and strength. The second one was the dumbbells a lot of times are just too little to do any good whatsoever. I think some places that have 2 1 pound dumbbells is a complete waste of money. And then when you're doing any kind of cardio, step class, walking, don't hold the little dumbbells. It's really bad for your shoulders. The other thing, fourth biggest mistake I've watched, as I've seen people come in and take a power yoga class. The next day they'll take some kind of other power class, and they're both doing strength training just 2 days in a row. So a lot of times I think it's better to do a total body workout every other day. It's easier to remember. And if you do a split routine, then of course you'd have to do lower body on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And of course you'd have to make sure you reach failure within 8 to 12 repetitions or 90 seconds. And then if you do the other split, the upper body on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But I think it's easier just to do total body workout every other day. So in previous videos, I have mentioned and I've shown my push-up challenge. So I do push-ups every other day. Push-ups are a challenge, but you can do them on your own at home. Doesn't require any equipment. They are the most beneficial. So make sure you do strength training every other day. So you can do cardio and core every day. And of course, the FIT principle mentions that you should be doing cardiovascular activity 3 to 5 days a week. So you don't have to do it 6 or 7 days a week. I usually go out and do a walk since the beginning of everything that's been happening the past couple of years. I would go out for a walk every day, almost every day. I would take one day off if I just was kind of tired. But my walks are moderate fitness. So that's one of my biggest mistakes too. I see some doctors on different programs talking about elite fitness will have the most benefits. And I question that. I mean, how much time is it going to take out of your life to be elite fitness? And how much time is that going to add onto your total longevity of your life with your better quality of life? So if you're spending 3 hours a day, maybe more, exercising, I don't see the benefit when it comes to your 70s or 80s. I think if you spend an hour, hour and a half a day, 5 days a week, that's moderate fitness. There's many studies showing that the moderate fitness has many benefits. Sedentary lifestyle is more detrimental to your health than actually smoking. So that was one of the other ones. Okay, the other one I wanted to go over is a question that I hear many times from many people, students. They'll always come up to me during a class, before or after, even during it sometimes, and they'll say, I've never been, and fill in the blank. So that could be flexible, that could be good, bad posture, could even be not good at names. So my question back is always to them, have you ever worked at it? So anything that you want to work at, you can actually get better at, right? You have to work at it. You can't just expect to be really flexible. You can't expect to have good posture. In all my previous videos, I started giving what I call a posture link. So you start working on your posture during all of your life. So from now on, you never cross your legs, and I have a whole bunch of them in my previous videos. So think about your posture all day long. Make sure you sit up straight. When I'm on my computer, that's why I'm sitting here nice and straight. I try to meditate every day, and I pull myself up nice and tight against a wall so I know what my spine feels good. Because throughout life, people have a tendency of their muscular system has changed your skeletal system, but you could change it back. If your muscular system changed your skeletal structure, which is kyphosis and lordosis, because you weren't working on your posture, because you have to make a conscious effort on that, then it's going to change your skeletal structure, but you can change it back. So especially if you have low back pain. The 3 biggest reasons for back pain are bad posture, tight muscles, and weak core, and all 3 of those pretty much go hand in hand. That was the 5th and 6th. I wanted to go over ballistic versus static stretching. Ballistic means when you're bouncing. They've had studies for decades, even before I was teaching, that ballistic stretching actually is more detrimental to you, because ballistic is you're bouncing and your muscles have a stretch reflex and they will shorten to protect themselves. So you never want to do ballistic stretching. You never want to bounce. When you stretch, it should be static, which means you hold it for at least a minute. Because they have studies also showing that you only maintain your flexibility when you hold the stretch for an entire minute. So you've got to hold it for a darn long time, right? The next mistake that I've seen is static stretching in the beginning. So about 15, 20 years ago, they kept having studies showing that static stretching in the beginning tells your muscles to relax. You don't want them to relax before you want them to perform. So never do static stretching in the beginning. So static is when you hold it. You can do dynamic movements, any kind of warm up or movement, but when you hold any kind of a stretch, that is static stretching. And also remember that stretching tells your muscles to relax, right? So you can switch. Meditation calms your mind to help calm your body. Well, why can't you if you're having trouble meditating? And of course, meditating is very hard. You can stretch when you're stressed out about something. The stretching will calm your body, which will help calm your mind. And I also tell all my students, if you're ever in a bad mood or you're stressed, soak in water. A pool, jacuzzi, even a bathtub, just soaking in water will relax you. You cannot be in a bad mood after soaking in water. So when I say soaking in water, a shower doesn't work. I always have one student always come to me and go, is shower okay? But a shower cleans you, but it doesn't massage you. And there's a whole orthostatic intolerance about soaking in the water that will help your circulation and calm you down. So make sure you do static stretching in the end. The other next biggest mistake was specificity. I always have a lot of students throughout my career always come up to me and say, how do I get better at fill in the blank? It could be jump shots, it could be downward dog, could be all of those. And my answer is specificity. Do what you want to get better at. So that includes everything besides physical fitness. If you want to get better at algebra, you practice algebra. If you want to get better at drawing, you practice drawing. If you want to get better at jump shots, you practice your jump shots. Same as all the drills for all sports, right? You want to do specificity. Work on exactly what you want to get better at. So even if you're going to go travel and hike up some mountains, we can go to the gym or somewhere and try to walk on a treadmill uphill to prepare your body for if you hike uphill someplace else for some kind of trips. The last one I want to go over is a warm-up set. Oh, this is one of my kind of pet peeves, and I see mostly men do this. They always talk about doing a warm-up set. And a warm-up set, the definition of a warm-up is using large muscle groups for at least 7 to 10 minutes. So a warm-up has to be something to do with your legs. And they have studies showing too that you get 90% of your strength gains in the very first set if you reach failure. So you don't have to do so many sets. So like I said, if maybe an hour and a half, 5 days a week of total exercise, you could go for a somewhat brisk walk, maybe 40 minutes. Then do one set of lunges or squats, one set of push-ups, lower body, upper body every other day. Then do some core. If you sit up nice and straight, I don't even do crunches anymore. So you can hold, sitting up straight would be better for core strength. And then of course, see if you can spend some time meditating and stretching. So I wanted to share with you. And I haven't done a video for a little while. I was very good doing them every other week, but nobody's making any comments on my video. So if you made it this far, I highly appreciate it. Please make a comment and ask me any kind of question. I would love to hear some kind of questions from anybody. And again, my book is going to be called Mom Remembers Me. It's about how I use my health and fitness knowledge to stop my mother with mild dementia from forgetting me, and it worked. And there's no reason why you should just believe that if your parent or your relative starts to lose their memory that you can't get it back. All the brain books say that you can recover. And if you want some good books like Dr. Doidge, D-O-I-D-G-E, are excellent books, all good stories about how people do recover from stroke. They do recover from their memory, but somehow I think the healthcare industry has just made it sound like you can, once you have Alzheimer's, you can't recover. And I disagree, and there's some other examples from England. So thanks a lot for watching. Please make a comment. And of course, like and subscribe if you like this information. Bye-bye. Have a great night.